Hello, friends, and welcome to the Season 3 premiere of our show. We have a jam-packed episode with a little something for everyone. I detail my experience with Bret Hart sitting next to the Hitman for 2.5 hours as he was nice enough to give me a mini interview, an experience I will never forget. Speaking of which, we will have all of the action from WrestleMania week in Vegas, including showing you a match in its entirety with mic'd up audio where I was the referee between Brian Kendrick and a guy with no legs. I can't make this up. Stay tuned as you won't want to miss this. Before we dive into everything, let's swing it on over to co-host G. Patrick Condon. Happy 3-year anniversary, my friend.
Hello, yes. What a fine intro we have for this third season. Well done. Very professional, as is the blazer. Where'd you get the blazer?
Well, I dragged it out of the closet, but now that I'm a permanent ring announcer for Real Canadian Wrestling, RCW, here in Alberta, which we will detail later on in this episode, I figured I'm going to stick with the gimmick, because I'll be wearing this as I announce the shows for now on here in Springbrook.
Nice. Get yourself a nice collared shirt to go with it. I mean, I know that the NWO t-shirt is a cool look, but we're in our 40s. That the t-shirt and blazer thing... Take it from me. Everybody knows, who knows me, I was a notorious blazer wearer up until a little bit too long, actually, probably early 30s. But, just a note. But you're looking fine, nevertheless.
Sir, I was actually told by the owner, don't dress up nicely, don't dress up in a tux and all that shit. He said, wear a hoodie for all he cares. But
okay, all right.
But I think, I might just step up a little bit more in a hoodie. But, yeah. How are you? How are you doing? I haven't seen you since WrestleMania. I've been sick as a mother effer. Just coming around basically last week. Good to be on the mend. Good to be back here on the show. Good to be recording. How are you?
I'm good. Since you, because I know that you were sick for quite some time, have you checked in with your buddy Bret to see whether or not he got sick? Where did this illness, because, I mean, you came back, you thought it might have been the dreaded COVID, and I was gobsmacked because I didn't feel any illness whatsoever and went on to not feel any illness. So I don't know where you caught it, how you caught it, from whom, but thankfully you didn't pass it along to me.
Apparently a lot of wrestling fans got sick down there. A lot of people on Facebook were saying that it was passed around. So just dirty, disgusting, filthy wrestling fans passing around their diseases.
Oh yeah, tell me about it. This is now, I thought that maybe last year was the first time that I came out of a WrestleMania weekend not feeling great to be a wrestling fan, but now after going to Vegas and then coming out of it going like, I don't know how much I want to tell people I'm a wrestling fan anymore. It seems to be, it's not a coincidence. It's a fact of the matter. But you see some doozies for sure. But the odd thing about it, as maybe we'll see in the videos, is that virtually anybody that you end up talking to ends up being pretty all right. But the ones that you don't speak to, there's a reason.
Absolutely.
Absolutely? Do you believe that? Do you believe what I just said?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
So, Backlash. Did you get a chance to watch Backlash? Did you get a chance to watch Raw last night?
No, I'm aware of what's going on. I thought that Backlash was not any more impressive than what you go into some pay-per-views and you think that expectations are so low that that it will exceed expectations, but this one did not exceed expectations. What did you think?
Not in any way, shape, or form. No, my God, it was the hot dog shit, as they say. Becky Lynch and Lyra Valkyria, Bird Lady, Lady Bird, they had a pretty good match. Gunther and Pat McAfee had a decent match. I enjoyed that for what it was, but I mean, it just felt like filler.
Pat was,
I don't know.
Yeah, well, Pat hung with him for
he did.
For quite a bit, and
Yep.
really sort of won in defeat. I think just by being able to hang with Gunther for as long as he did, it's it's good showing.
It's a testament to him for sure, 100%. What do you think, folks? Leave it in the comments. What did you think of Backlash, and what did you think of John Cena versus Randy Orton? The finish involving R-Truth. Oh my God! And as you said right after it happened, I hope John Cena attacks R-Truth. I hoped it did happen too, but I was kind of hoping it would happen better than what it did. It kind of felt melodramatic in a way at the press conference when John Cena put poor Ron through a table.
Well, I think Ron should have.
Everything felt flat. I don't know.
R-Truth has been in denial since we've seen this new John Cena that's emerged since Elimination Chamber, and it's cost him in the end. He put his trust in a man that has said continuously since he's been on TV that he no longer loves the fans, and there's no bigger John Cena fan than R-Truth. So broke my heart to see that happen, but maybe R-Truth will get some sort of redemption from it. Lord knows somebody needs to stop John Cena, who has just relentlessly been a real stick in the mud.
Absolutely. I think I've heard rumblings of John Cena versus R-Truth at Saturday night's main event. So
cool.
Maybe
Nice.
he'll get his retribution there. R-Truth, Ron, he deserves a moment in the sun. So yeah.
Well, you want to do a little. You talk about your wrestler interactions. I saw R-Truth at the Cinnabon at the Las Vegas airport on my way back, and he was trying to get past me to get a straw or something, and I moved my chair up, and he looked me right in the eye and said thank you. I didn't mark out or anything. I wasn't trying to bother him. And right after, I just had that nice, you can see he's just like a nice, kind man. On his way out, 2 neck beards. Oh God, it's you! Like it's 7 a.m. or whatever. Like it's just embarrassing to see that kind of stuff.
Well, at least I'm glad that you got to see someone, and you also got to see Otis and CM Punk. Did you not?
I did, and much like I often think about your interaction with Bret. I wonder if I would have said anything to him at all, because it's same deal with Otis. Just sort of a nod. He mumbled something. I don't know. He couldn't get his way. He was lost, I guess, too. I was lost and didn't realize where I was going. And then CM Punk was talking to somebody else. I don't know if they were fans. They didn't look like they were fans. They looked like just regular people. But, I mean, CM Punk is not a guy that I don't think I would go up to try and talk to anyways. It seems like he's got a bunch of rules of when and where you should be talking to him, and so I didn't want to put myself in a situation where I got big leagued by Phil Brooks.
Probably smart, because I could definitely see that happening. Otis, though, I think Otis would be a nice person to go up to and have a chat with. But
yeah, I don't know what to say to these people. You know, the same issue that we were thinking about what to do at WrestleCon, and none of these wrestlers, like, it's not even that I have an issue with giving them money to get an autograph and a picture. It's just I don't know really what I would have to say to them, you know? But looking back at it now, I had a lot that I could have said to Kevin Nash, and I wish I'd taken that up, because, I'm not sure if you know this, but I decided to go to get treatment for my alcohol problem after he did a show a couple of days after his kid died of alcohol overdose or whatever happened to his kid. And so it never even occurred to me that I could have brought that up to him. Would have been probably a pretty good interaction. What do you think?
would have made some very good TV. Great content.
Well, speaking of content, you're saying that you got a 2.5-hour interview with Bret. Where's the footage?
Listen, I already got a picture taken with Bret before, so I didn't want to bother him, because there was people like Make-A-Wish kids and other fans bothering Bret. I shouldn't say Make-A-Wish kids are bothering Bret. I should not say that. Sorry.
Not you.
Sorry.
The Make-A-Wish kids were bothering Bret.
Sorry.
My
God. They came out wrong. They came out totally wrong.
No. Content. We could clip that. I mean, we could clip that.
No, that's not getting clipped. That's not clipped. That's getting deleted. Delete. No. So the stewardess came down to Bret and asked him if it was okay if the Make-A-Wish kid could come down and get an autograph and a picture, and he's like, yes, totally. That's totally fine. But another person
you're like
on
rotted
the plane,
right next to him. You're rotted. You're about to ask him a question. You're like, fine.
No.
I wanted to know what his thoughts were on Triple H during
I was very respectful on the plane ride. I did not ask him any questions on the plane ride. In fact, when he went to the bathroom, I asked his wife, who was sitting next to me in between us, if it was okay if I asked him questions when we land the plane, or we get landed or whatever. And she said, it just depends on what questions you want to ask. So I guess I got vetted in a way, and I told her some of the questions I wanted to ask. She's like, yep, sure, that's perfectly fine. Go ahead. Anyway, but there's people on the plane who literally got out of their seats and went to him like, hey, Bret, can I get a picture? And, he's like, yeah, sure. So they got pictures. So I didn't want to bother him, right? So I didn't want to bother him and get a picture. I already got one. And then during the plane ride, I guess we'll just talk about it now, which is crazy. So I get on the plane, right? And as soon as I get on the plane, there's someone who's saying, someone's sitting in their seat and they're saying, man, Bret Hart's on the plane. Bret Hart's on the plane. I'm like, what? Really? Cool. So I'm walking down. I'm in the back of the plane. Like, I'm in WestJet, row fucking 20 something, whatever. And I thought I missed him because there's no way Bret Hart's in the back of a WestJet plane. And then I'm looking up at my seat numbers and I see mine. I look down and there's Bret. I'm like, oh my God, like, is this really happening? And he looked at me, I looked at him, and I was like, sir, would you prefer the window seat or the aisle seat? And he was like, aisle. I was like, perfectly. That was perfect. So anyway, they got off, let me in. And as soon as the flight started, he starts watching the WrestleMania 9 documentary that's on Peacock. And during the documentary, like, it's so whack. Like, it's Bret Hart in the documentary wrestling, Bret Hart being interviewed in the documentary, and then Bret Hart on the plane. So I'm watching Bret Hart watch Bret Hart in a surreal moment in my life. Absolutely crazy. He actually turns his phone on his tray over so I can watch it with him because he's, peeked over my shoulder. He just like, here you go, man. Here you go, you fucking mark. Right here you go. Turn my phone for you so he can watch it.
Where's his wife in all this? Like, tell me,
is it right next to me? She's in between the two of us.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
So she's in the middle, right?
She's in the middle, yeah.
All right, nice, cool. What are the odds? Like, and I mean, he was flown up by the WWE, and they flew him back in the back of the plane on a WestJet flight. Like,
yeah, I know. Like, that's my biggest thing too. Is like WWE, man, what is wrong with you? This is a 3-time Hall of Famer, a person that you're putting in the Hall of Fame for a 3rd time that weekend.
Yeah.
And literally, he's in the back with all the marks like me. Oh my God, the poor guy.
Craziness.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Craziness.
It's just crazy.
I guess maybe they saw his little eye roll that he had during the Hall of Fame ceremony towards Triple H, and they were like, back of the plane, buddy.
That's amazing. I wonder if that's what it was. But yeah, as soon as the plane landed and we got off the plane and we were in like the little area, going towards the baggage claim, I just rambled off a bunch of questions. And I was like, what are your thoughts on Triple H? And he's like, I don't have an opinion on Triple H. And yeah, he's like, is the WWE in good hands creatively? He's like, I don't watch the product. It's trash. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Right, fair enough. Is he really good with Shawn Michaels? And he said he wouldn't be caught dead having a drink with him, but he's kosher enough to work with him and be in the same room with him. So,
well, I mean, Shawn's sober, so if he is having a drink with Shawn, then something really bad has happened, I would say. So, okay, so it wasn't throughout the flight you were having a chat with him. It was just at the end. It was like, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, because I didn't want to bump him and just bother him on his flight, Like, yeah. I just want to be somewhat respectful. But yeah, as soon as the plane landed, I was just like, I asked him.
And he was happy to get photos with everybody. And yeah.
He was a good dude, man. Yeah, he had no problem with anybody. He was a really good dude. Yeah.
Because he loves it, right? Like, I mean, that's what everybody says about him, is that he's a big mark for himself, which he probably is. But, I mean, that's why it's so classic that he was watching himself on the plane, like in a documentary. It's exactly what I would imagine him to be doing. But
he was into the Doink and Crush stuff. Like, when Doink was hitting Crush with the cast, he was like, oh yeah, like he was really? into it. Oh yeah, man, he was into it. He's so hard, man. He's just as big a fan of the old school stuff as we are, man. He was just into it. He loved it so much. Yeah. I asked him about Hogan's black eye at WrestleMania 9. Was it the jet ski? Was it the Macho Man? He said it was legit jet ski. The Macho Man thing was just something that fabricated over time, but it was legit a jet ski accident that gave him the black eye. His 3 matches in his mind are the Stone Cold match at Mania 13, the Wembley match against British Bulldog, and the Anaheim match against Shawn Michaels.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah. Yep, those are his top 3. And I did ask him if he considers this match being inducted as the first match into the Hall of Fame a special honor, or is adding matches to the Hall of Fame kind of redundant. And he's like, no, I kind of consider it a great honor. It's the very first one that goes in. I'm very proud of the match. There you go.
He's a mark, man.
He's a mark. He's a mark above all else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
God
good
bless
man,
him.
Though. Glad to hear it.
God bless my hero. Yeah. They say never meet your heroes, but man, got to meet mine, and it was fantastic. It was awesome. I wouldn't take it back for anything. But yeah,
it's beautiful.
It is beautiful.
That's beautiful. So it sounds like a great experience.
It really was. It really was. But let's move on to some WrestleMania week action. As I said in the opening, I got to referee a match. And not only did I get to referee a match, I refereed a match between the Brian Kendrick and a guy with no legs. A guy, his name is Daddy No Legs. Just another surreal moment in life. You know, doing this special referee package with Micromania Tour. Special shout out to them. Thank you so much for Micromania. I go backstage and I realize that Brian Kendrick is a participant in the match, a wrestler in the match. And I was just floored. Started to fanboy out. I was told to chill out a little bit. Fanboying out way too hard. Oh, yeah. I was marking out. They told me to mark out later on. Not right now. I was like, okay, very good. So anyway, we just went over the basically they said stay out of the way, count the 1, 2, 3. And that's what I did. And that's what we're going to show you here now. Full mic'd up audio. Thank you very much to our producer Andrew for putting this together. Thank you, Patrick, for recording the footage. This is a special moment in my life that I will treasure forever. But yeah, what an awesome experience. And here we go. Let's see if we can show you, the audience, my experience at Micromania Tour.
Are we watching the entire match? Is that what the...
Yeah, match with audio.
No, the audio is there. I'm just wondering if that's what we're seeing. We could go up a little. Yeah. We could put
we can turn a little bit on the audio. There we go. Is it on your screen, Conan, or mine?
What?
Can everybody see the video? Okay.
So, surprise for everybody that's there, too, hey?
Yeah, definitely did not expect to see Brian Kendrick at the Micromania Tour.
And it's... Yeah, I mean... now, Micromania was doing, I think, a show a day during the week. Beautiful shirt.
It is a beautiful shirt.
Nice, yes. That was Russell Peters.
It kind of looks like him, huh? It's insane.
Like, while I was there, I was like, is that Russell Peters? I mean...
You know what the crazy... did you know that Sabu was in attendance for this? Rest in peace, Sabu.
That's what I was going to say, is there was a lot of notable people. Zack Sabre Jr., right? And rumors that Gunther was there.
Yep. Just to think that I got to be in the ring while they were in the audience is kind of, I don't know. It's crazy. It's mind-blowing. But here we go. I'm so nervous, man. Here we go.
Now, the guy that was there refereeing before you, the special guest referee, really,
he was so bad.
Him.
He was so bad. Him. Yeah.
That was his big thing, was that everybody hated him at one point, was just chanting out how much they hated him. So you had your work. That guy there, we spoke to him beforehand. He's already getting ready to hate on you.
Oh, yeah. The whole match. He was on me the whole match. There's a little Pat special, little PAT special dance there.
Nice.
I've lost some weight since then, I tell you, I think.
Yeah? I guess the illness.
Yeah, got sick and lost some weight. Yeah. Man, it was bad, man. It was almost... I'm telling you, I thought it was COVID. It might have been worse. Like, it felt worse than COVID at one point. It was 10 straight days of being in bed, just sick. But speaking of sick, this match is sick. Like, look at this. This guy's got no legs. I think he has, like, 2 fingers. Like, legit. It's...
I didn't even notice the fingers.
And here he is living his dream, man, as a professional wrestler. It's...
There's 2 handicapped people living their dream in this match.
Bazinga. That was good. He's trying to test his strength, and he's got no fingers, right? That's what the audience is saying. He's got no fingers.
I thought it was like a size thing. Like he was, because he doesn't have the legs, and so then he does the heel.
Probably a little bit A, a little bit of B.
Yeah. So it's weird. It's like a kind of a... It's nice. The atmosphere is very ruckus. What I would imagine maybe
was crazy. Yeah, sorry, go ahead. Yeah,
good snap suplex. And then he tries to do the surfboard on him. Look at that. Oh my God.
Little spinneroonie. One takeaway I had from the ring when I was in there, man, just like how small it was, how small it felt, and like I felt like I was going to be in the way no matter where I was. But
well, you're good. I mean, you knew to just get by the turnbuckle there. Right?
Yeah, just stay in the corner, stay in the opposite corner. Yeah, get away.
Nice.
Get him, no legs. Get him. Get him.
Is that you?
That's me.
That's the mic up. Yeah. Nice. Oof.
He's laying him in.
And you were saying that the ring, it's not easy to do the counts on.
No, man. No, absolutely not. You hit the mat and you feel it, man, in your wrists. Like it's It hurts. It's not easy. I don't know how those WWE referees do it day in, day out, year after year. I really don't.
Well, and they say that the ring is even harder in the WWE too, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now, Sports Illustrated also happened to be there doing a story.
No way, really?
Yeah, you didn't know that? They were sitting right behind where I was.
Okay. I think they were. I didn't know they were doing a story. I just thought that they were there just to be there as fans.
Yeah, I think. Well, I mean, they had press passes. I'm just thinking now to try and look up what happened.
Very good.
Yeah, yeah. There's a TikTok.
Like you, cannonballs across the ring. That's amazing.
Yeah.
There's parts there where I was interacting with that fan once or twice. It's probably a good thing because we would have to censor that out. But yeah, what a time, man! What a great time! My goodness gracious! And here I am getting on the ring. Yeah, and I almost whoop.
Now see, I cut that out when I was doing the video. Andrew clearly just wants to embarrass you. Wonderful. And I mean, and you were so hesitant to even do it in the first place. Nerves were racked. You weren't sure about it, and now look at you. Now you're a ring announcer for promotion.
It's insane. It's absolutely insane. Here's the shirt right here.
Oh yeah, and look at that. There's your you got a photo afterwards. You're saying that Brian Kendrick was a real good guy.
Oh man, just really down to earth. Just really thankful that we had a great match and all that stuff. And then I told him I was going to take this moment with me, for the rest of my life, and he was just really thankful for that as well. Just it's a cool fucking moment, man. I keep swearing on this podcast. I'm sorry, I shouldn't be, but I can't help it. Just the emotion is coming out of me. I have to verbalize it with F-bombs. Apparently.
There you go.
But yeah, just so cool. Yes. So after Micromania, we went to a lot of different places. We saw a lot of different events. We are going to take a look at some highlights now of some of the events that we went to. I think the show of the weekend for me was probably the WWE ID tournament. Lots of highlights to show there. That was a really cool event. Swipe Right, Ricky Smokes, Brad Baylor, Jackson Drake. They're going to be the future of the WWE, man. They were so good. But let's start off with your dive bar video for Rise UK, if we can.
Sure, yeah. Now that was as advertised. We got there a little bit late, which worked for me. I mean, because it really does become a little repetitive, these death matches, because there is not a lot of psychology. But the atmosphere there was very strange. I don't know what it's like at the dive bar anyways. Anyways, you go ahead and play it there, Andrew. But it's just kind of like in a mall block kind of setting, like you'd see around Walmart or whatever. And the place is just trashed with glass everywhere. I got hit in the leg with some glass.
Some shrapnel.
Yeah, right. It's... everybody's bleeding. It's really weird. It's one thing to see these things on TV, but to be in a bar atmosphere where you're looking right at a guy, you can touch him, and he's just profusely bleeding,
Big Effing Joe, he was, when we get to my footage, we'll see how much of a squirter he actually was. I mean, he was just juicing hard. You got some good footage here, my friend. There you go.
Yeah.
There's Big Effing Joe there, and
so he was wrestling a lady.
The Savage. See you next Tuesday.
Is that what her name is?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. He's a big boy, hey? Tim
There's
Strange.
our Newfoundland buddy, our Newfoundland friend there, Newfoundland Tim Strange. From Newfoundland, Tim Strange. Playing the piano.
And we found out that these guys all had a suite.
This is probably the funniest part here. Yeah. Someone was ordering food, and they had to go pick up food.
It was crazy. There was still going on there as this was, craziness. Yeah, Tim Strange and the Death Wrestling guys from the UK all had a suite at WrestleMania. So I mean, they're making some cash, that's for sure.
It was a wrestler's suite. Yeah, I have to look into that. And we can throw on my video of the dive bar next if you have it. They're available there, Andrew, my buddy. But Yeah, being in the suite at WrestleMania, that's
It's
all
like
right.
$10,000 or something.
That's
at
all right.
least.
Yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad.
Yeah, my God. If it's a good thing you've already sworn because this was going to get you demonetized anyway.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I mean, it's a real horror show. And I really wonder now, like, do you think that it's necessary for these guys to actually be bleeding in order to get the enjoyment out of this? What do you think?
Probably not to the extent that they are. No,
I
definitely
think that,
not.
you know, I don't know. I mean, when I was younger, it was like, I used to not, every now and then there would be spots in like WWE where the guys were using fake blood. But now, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it kind of changed me to see all this stuff in person. It's like, it's not necessary. It's a bit barbaric.
It's a little barbaric, yeah. Oh my God, the waterboarding and said like the place was just littered with glass. I mean, it was so much glass. Like, holy cow, just tube after tube after tube after tube just being smashed over people's heads.
Yes, it really kind of breaks the gimmick of those fluorescent tubes doing any kind of damage. I think the most damage they do is whatever powder or whatever is in there, because the place was just covered in this powder.
Yeah, and then you're ordering food service. I mean, oh my God.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe you deserve it if you're ordering food from a place called Dive Bar, but somebody could shut them down for sure. Actually, I was going to check and see what's going on in their menus at Dive Bar. What else we got in the meantime?
In the meantime, let's throw up your Texas Wrestling Cartel video, the TWC video. Texas Wrestling Cartel, they were there in Vegas, and they had people like Cappuccino Jones, who won their championship while we were there. He beat some guy who was a champion for months and months and months. Cappuccino Jones, he's a name to be on the lookout for in the future. I think he's already on NXT. He's definitely on Evolve. But yeah, you can start the video whenever you're ready. Ricky Morton. Or Kerry Morton, Ricky Morton's son. And then this guy here.
Yes.
Looks like he belongs on Stargate.
Yeah. Now, I like that guy. His whole thing was he was kind of like, his gimmick is, they say that he got there on the Greyhound bus. He's kind of like a drifter kind of thing, right? He came out with a satchel and stuff. I liked him.
Okay. And now we can throw up my video, if you got it there. Yeah, the Texas Wrestling Cartel, they had some really good action. I got to say, they impressed me a lot. They were probably, the second best show there. It was probably, in my opinion, the WWID, Texas Wrestling Cartel, and Mania as the top shows over the weekend.
Yeah, it was interesting talking to that. I love this guy. This guy's
awesome.
Good, great heel. I think at some point he gave me the finger, too, which is the best part about doing these little small shows is the fan interaction that you get, that kind of experience. You know, I mean, we're right there seeing these people dive out on each other,
right,
onto the floor and stuff. Like, it's crazy athleticism. And when we were talking to the people with Texas Wrestling Cartel, we were talking about how maybe it's because they're in Texas and it's bordering the Mexican border, but there was a whole lot of lucha libre featured on this card.
Yes, there was. And there you go.
He's
big boy. Took him out. Yeah, he's a big boy.
Huge.
We will actually have an interview with the announcer / promoter of Texas Wrestling Cartel available on social media at some point during this week. Keep an eye out for that. Stay tuned. Excellent interview. And I appreciate his craft even more now, for sure. I'll tell you that. Ring announcing is not easy.
No. And we were giving a lot of guff to the referees here too.
Ooh, that
and
guy took a back bump.
You would come to find out that reffing is not that easy either.
No, everything is very, very. Jeez.
And interesting thing about
you go. Sorry.
Interesting thing about this venue is that it's also in kind of like an industrial area. Like you would think that on either side, I think there's like a parcel and shipping place, and it's just anywhere that you could set up a ring seems to be the idea. Same with a lot of GCW shows. They all took place in a kind of like a theater, like a concert venue, where people would come down from the stage to wrestle in the standing only area in a typical show. and then everybody else was kind of just up. It was there was no people were not surrounding the ring.
Well, why don't we show everybody exactly what you're talking about right now? Let's throw up my Bloodsport video, please. There's a good angle at the very end of the video where you capture or go around the whole arena so you get to see exactly what you're talking about. But Bloodsport, me and you, my friend, we were very excited to go to the show. One of the shows that we were more excited for, and I think it was the biggest disappointment of the whole week. Not saying that it was terrible by any means, but yeah, I don't think it lived up to expectations. The Natty Neidhart match, Natalia Neidhart, her match was really, really, really good. And then there's some other spots that are pretty cool too that we'll see in the video.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was definitely the. Oh, this
Not
is
this video,
Rise
no.
UK again.
This is Rise UK. Yeah.
It was definitely the best match in her career, and the match of the night. But reading online afterwards, it was very controversial because of the finish, and I think. For the most part, people were disappointed about this show, either because it was too WWE influenced. Anybody that was connected to the WWE coincidentally won that night. Andrew, we're still seeing your screen there. And then if you didn't have a problem with that, a problem that I had, and I think you had, Bish, was that people were like the matches were boring, and they all kind of had to start really slow. And I know that it's an MMA influence thing, but it's still a work, and so you can work so that it can be an exciting MMA match. I've seen those before.
Every now and again, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
but yeah, it was. But you're right though. It just felt like every match was kind of the same. Just the same flow, the same. They would build up and build up and build up to like a suplex or something like that. Just a very. I don't know.
There was no punches being thrown, really, like no haymakers. There's no like boxing element to it, which I thought, like, if you're taking your cues from the movie Bloodsport, like that, there was punching and hitting in that, and so this is really wrestling based and mixed martial arts ground game, and those are always boring. I don't know. I haven't really watched. Well, no, I mean, like, I think in years past, people like John Moxley have gone there, maybe, or like people that have a little bit more.
Former Baron Corbin, Bishop, Dyer, wherever his name is now.
Yeah, and the reputation that I heard was that it wasn't death match wrestling, that type of blood, but it was like a more violent wrestling match that was made to look like a shoot.
Right.
And it did look like a shoot, but it was because, I mean, even though matches were building up to a one power move or whatever, in the context of the match, it worked, because if you were watching a UFC match and somebody did a pile driver or a body slam or something like that, that would be the end of the match.
Right, yeah, fair enough. Well, here we go. Yeah, here's the Bloodsport video. So we got Zack Sabre Jr., which is pretty cool.
And we saw Jonathan Gresham everywhere that weekend. He was everywhere.
He was everywhere. Yeah, you can mute that. You can mute that video. There you go.
Yeah,
thank you.
So, and this match was probably the biggest disappointment of them all, because they gave them extra time.
Yeah, but they didn't really do anything. They said they rolled around the mat and threw like a few slaps, and that was it. But yeah, this Natty match, this is really, really good. Controversial finish, if you say, with the sharpshooter, but great match nonetheless. Then we got Pete Dunne doing some joint manipulation there, and then we get Killer Cross coming out, and here he is grabbing him from.
He was loved, and he had despite not having a big WrestleMania impact, he was over big here, and we'll see what happens, but I think that WrestleMania was a turning point for him.
He apparently has the #1 selling shirt on WWE.com right now.
Yeah, it's a cool shirt too.
And here it is a cool shirt. Yes, that one of the stupid WWE shirts normally.
No.
Yeah.
So
but here
helps.
You see the arena here, like you're talking about earlier. Yeah, just like a theater type. It was really cool atmosphere. Definitely did a different type of show. I would go again. I would give it another chance, but just I don't know.
Yeah.
It was just kind of slow.
Next time I would probably do a lot more GCW actually, because I went to another one. Bish was feeling a little tired and one day, so I went to an 11 o'clock match called the Cluster F-Bomb, and so it was basically just a big rumble of anybody that was left in town on that Saturday night.
Yeah.
And so atmosphere was good. I was sitting in front of a guy that had waking sleep apnea, and I ended up just leaving the show because I couldn't take hearing him struggle to breathe while criticizing the athleticism of the people in the ring openly. Mocking them. Yeah, it was exactly what you think it is. So, but the GCW shows kind of, there's a lot of Japanese influence. There's a little bit of everything, you know. They have Joey Janela's Spring Break, which had we gone to that, we would have saw Sabu's last match, but depending on the news that is coming out, maybe that was not a great thing to see, but jury's out on that. But yeah, the GCW shows generally are fun and a little bit of everything.
Yeah, a little something for everybody. And that's going to bring us to the WWE ID tournament round 2. As I said earlier, I think this was the best show of the independent weekend that we saw. This video has actually gotten some pretty confusing TikTok. Not bad for someone who doesn't know what they're doing. I pat myself on the back. Yeah. I think this is probably the best TikTok I've ever made. But yeah, this is a really cool, highly packaged. Here you go, folks. Enjoy this one. Oh my God.
And so somewhere in the audience, and possibly sitting right to the right camera frame with his back to the wall, is the guy that books for Evolve.
Really?
Yes. And I don't know if we'll ever see any footage that goes over to the other side. Maybe I have some, but he said that the match that you really liked from this, he said was his favorite match of the entire weekend. What's his name? I love that guy, that big guy that's like Kevin Nash pants.
Yeah, I think that might be Jackson Drake or Marcus. I don't know.
He lost this match. He was wrestling a guy whose gimmick was he was very gay, right? Was that his gimmick? He was very, very gay. And this is a different match. That's my boy there, the Wanderer or whatever.
The Wanderer, yeah.
Gabe Kapowski is who I'm thinking of.
Gabe Kapowski, wow. That's amazing.
And there was, if I remember correctly, I think that the guy next to us very much had his look. Oh. So is this the match? This is your match that you like?
I mean, there's a few matches I liked on this one. Obviously,
is this the swipe? That's not the swipe.
This is one of the swipe right guys. Yeah, the guy getting hit with the maneuver. Oh, that's a good move. That's Ricky Smokes. He's one of the swipe right guys. Also getting hit with the maneuver is Ricky Smokes.
Yeah, and there's a lady that's part of this group that she was in. She was in Pottermania, right?
Yeah.
And she was in the FCW show, and she's good. She's got a. I'm talking about the heel, right? That's part of this group?
Yeah, Brittany, she was a face in Pottermania, and then she was a heel in the group later on.
No, I think we're talking about two different people. You're talking she is good too. Brittany girl is good too with the knee braces,
good.
Right?
Yeah, knee brace, yeah.
No, I'm talking about she's tinier and was like a loudmouth, and her tag partner turned on her and left the arena in the ID match, and so we saw her 3 times. She wrestled in that building 3 times, and she was just a good classic heel where she could come out and nobody knows who she is from anybody else, and really get people to enjoy hating on her. But in the sort of opposite way, this Brittany wrestler, she was a great babyface and was able to fire up the crowd, of a couple hundred people. It's not easy.
No, definitely not easy at all. And yeah, so that's pretty much all of the action. We were supposed to go see Demand Lucha, but they had a scheduling conflict with another promotion that was going on at the time, so we didn't have time to go see them, unfortunately. But special shout out to Micromania Tour, again, Bloodsport, TNA, thank you for the people at TNA for giving us tickets, even though we didn't stay for very long for that. Just everybody that we talked to over WrestleMania weekend, all the interviews, all the promotions, thank you for everything. But right now, Condon, did you have a chance to throw together some WrestleCon footage?
No.
No? Okay.
This is the first you're going to ask me about it.
Never mind, folks. All right, let's just throw... Andrew, do you got the pictures there of me and Godfather? I'll show them at least. WrestleCon was something else. I got to meet Mike Chioda, referee, Mike Chioda.
Big referee weekend for you.
Yeah, big referee weekend, absolutely. And there you go. Yeah, there's me and the Godfather. Good man. Yes.
Nice.
Yes, sir. Yeah, and there's our boy Tim Strange holding the new flag. Beautiful. But we met definitely some cool characters at WrestleCon. Some guy was getting a Stone Cold Steve Austin tattoo on his neck. I think it was Stone Cold Steve Austin. He did have a Steve Austin tattoo, but he was definitely getting another wrestler's name tattooed on his neck.
That's right. That's right. Yes. The guy with the kid that had the same belt as you, but he claimed his was real. He said that he was a champion from. We'll have to take a look at that footage. I completely forgot about that guy. See if that's legit. We could hunt him down. See what was going on there.
And then we also had a promo from Tantalizing Tony. Shout out to Tantalizing Tony.
Yeah.
Check out his podcast.
Thanks. Yeah, go check out his podcast. There's a lot of people are working there. WrestleCon is a lot of people are working there. Everybody is working for $1 there, or is I don't know. It's very depressing.
It is very depressing, man. Just looking at Jerry King Lawler and Jim Ross. Oh my God, they're sucking the energy right out of the room. Just good Lord. I don't know. I didn't want to be in lineup to go talk to him, and just no, I'm good. Thanks.
No.
And just seeing how old everybody is getting, Hacksaw Jim Duggan looks like he's got 9 toes in the grave. I mean, oh my God.
Yeah.
Jake Roberts has went for surgery today, heart surgery today.
Yes, that's right. Well, I read that he came out of it good. Another thing, I didn't notice this the first time we were there in Philadelphia, was that there was a lot of people doing what we do. There was a lot of people getting content in one way or another.
You didn't see a whole lot of that this year in Vegas at all, besides us and just a couple of scattered handful of others.
I'm saying the opposite. I didn't notice that in Philadelphia at all. There was, remember there was a guy that I think was interviewing Tony Storm, who looked like she was happy to be there.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
And then there was another guy that was set up and watching. God, there was a lot of people doing interviews. I don't know if they were paying for them or what. And then the What Culture guys were going around too and getting content.
Well, maybe they saw what we did in Philly, and it's well, we got to get on the action.
That's right. Well, we are the only wrestling podcast on YouTube, so we got to get their cues from somewhere.
Absolutely. So, I don't know, WrestleCon, it's year by year, it's just going down and down and down. Hopefully it gets better next year. Hopefully the people who saw people like Mike Tyson were happy. Apparently Mike was on the go, and he was very interactive with the fans. Sting dressed up as Wolfpack Sting one day. So there's some pretty cool things. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe WrestleCon I might avoid next year, honestly, altogether, because it's just depressing. But what's not depressing, my friend, is how I became a ring announcer for Real Canadian Wrestling, RCW, here in Alberta. I was in my car driving back home with my wife, and there's a show here in Springbrook down the street happening about 2 hours or so from that time, and I get a call from my good buddy, the Canadian Goose, Kyle Shaw. Shout out Canadian Goose. And he was supposed to be the ring announcer that evening, but he had to wrestle because somebody couldn't make the show. So he told the owner, Steve, hey, let's give Bishop a shot. So he gave me a call. I was like, yeah, I'll be able to do it, even though I've been sick as a mother effer for the past 2 weeks since Vegas. No prep or whatever, anything like that, but who gives a crap? I'm going to go in there and just do my best, see what happens. So I show up at the arena. They give me the card of who's wrestling who. I went backstage and I got everybody's weight and where they were from. And yeah, basically just go do your thing. So I went out to the crowd, man. They started playing the music when the show started. I'll talk about putting together the ring and stuff like that in a second. But when the show started, took the microphone, got in the middle of the ring, and I was just like, Springbrook, who's ready to make some noise kind of thing, just getting the crowd pumped up. Yeah, and then Sean Martins. This guy right here, I don't know if you can see him. I don't know if my camera can see him or not, but he's on my wall over here. Sean Martins, the headline, veteran around the parts over here and around Canada. He cut a promo. He came into the ring, cut a promo on me and Springbrook, putting us down. That dirty dog. And then, the show started with a Lunatic Asylum match, 3-way dance. So cool, man. It's just so cool just to be able to announce these guys as they come out. Apparently,
Did
go
they
ahead.
tell you any behind-the-scenes stuff, or was everything just catch out guard as it was happening?
I didn't listen to any of the conversations they had. I literally just asked their weight, where they're from, and that's it. And I didn't have any other backstage dealings with them besides that. They were just too focused on doing what they were doing. But yeah, man, it was so cool. And then just being able to announce these people, just really getting into it, man, and just seeing the crowd get into it. The more I got into it, the crowd was getting into it more. I don't know, man. It's so cool. Sean Martins, this guy, when it came time for his match, he made me take his $15,000 robe and put it to the back. He called me a mark because of my shiny jacket that I had. Just a meanie in the ring. And he was going against hometown boy Othias Jones from Red Deer, and they had a hell of a main event.
You know, and this is something that you bring it up in a roundabout way that I noticed after watching so much wrestling and WrestleMania that they got to do something about these guys that are cheating, because it happens every match. Somebody's cheating every match. It's
it
unbelievable.
It happened again at the last event we were at. Somebody had a foreign object they used, and the kids afterwards were saying, "Hey, man, did you not see that?" I was like, "Yeah, I saw it," but they're
you
like,
can't do anything about it.
I can't do anything about it. I'm the ring announcer. They're like, well, tell the referee. I'm just a ring announcer, bud. You know, that's it.
You don't have the authority on that. But I mean, and we were talking to referees WrestleMania weekend too, and saying like, you guys gotta get your. You can understand maybe once in a while missing it, but these guys were missing some pretty obvious stuff, and it was every match. And something needs to be fixed up and changed with wrestling, because how can anybody say that they are a champion or be proud of themselves when you can't finish a match without somebody doing something underhanded and against the rules?
If you're not cheating, you're not trying. You win by any means necessary. All it matters in the end is the W.
I mean, to each their own, I suppose, Aaron, but there's something called integrity, and we all can't be. None of us want to be the Houston Astros or the New England Patriots with their deflated balls. There's got to be there's got to be a bit of pride, and I'd love to just see one match without somebody trying to do something that's against the rules. That's all I'm saying.
Speaking of pride, I got to put together a ring for the first time during that event. We can throw those pictures up here.
Look at that! You document everything.
Yeah.
Except for that Bret Hart interview.
Yeah. Source, trust me, bro.
Yeah.
There's another picture with there we go. Yeah. So first we had to put up the four corners, which are four this metal corners, and then we had to connect the four corners with those big long side pieces that you see there.
Yeah.
Right in front. So there's four of those. We had to connect those, and then we put those long rods down across the ring, and then put the wood on top. And then, as we saw in the other picture, we put the mat right there, and then on top of the mat is the ring apron, and voila, there you go, ropes and turnbuckles. Very
How long
crazy.
of a process is it?
Took about an hour and a half, but everybody was
brand new.
Nobody was rushing, put it that way. Everybody's taking their time, but it was really cool to be able to do that and then take apart the ring afterwards. And then, man, I didn't expect it, but I got paid 25 Canadian dollars for my hard work.
Look,
I got paid, man. I can't believe it. Hey, I've never been so happy to get $25 in my life. I was like, really?
Yeah.
I even
would have
said
done it for
to
free.
keep the money. I said, I'll do this for free. Keep the money. He's like, no, man, you worked. Here you go. So then I went straight into the merchandise table and I put it towards a T-shirt. And supporting the indie wrestlers that were on the show. Always support your indie wrestlers at your shows. Go to the merchandise tables. Every dollar goes to them to help support their families. Here you go.
That's
important
stuff. That's good, and it's good. It's great to hear that people are getting paid for this, because that's what a successful business model is. And everybody, the rumors always like you go and you work and you get a handshake and a couple of hot dogs or whatever. And so it's nice to hear that, even the ring announcers are being compensated in some form for their time. Love to see it.
Love to see it. Absolutely.
And good on you for reinvesting it in the guys that are doing the traveling for sure, especially if it's money that you weren't expecting. Good. It's a good thing to do.
Actually, bought a Sean Martin shirt.
Nice.
He even made me open the ring ropes for him too. I actually had to get in the ring ropes and separate them, just like someone would do for Flair.
You bought the merchandise of the guy that belittled you and called you a mark?
Yeah.
You are a mark.
Just the way I am now. Yeah, I'm the biggest mark there is. It's sad.
God love you for it. No, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. The biggest mark is the guy that was sitting behind me at that cluster F-bomb show. Physically, the biggest mark. You are not the biggest mark. And well, I guess that guy would probably be a smark, right? Likes to be critical of the things that he's seeing in the ring.
Right? Yeah, just overly just like.
That's the worst. I'd take being a mark any day of the week than being a smark.
Absolutely, 100%. And you know what, my friend? We got to wrap this up soon. We're over an hour already. Let's not drag this on any longer. So I want to let's see. What are we going to do? We're going to preview next week. Wesley Pipes and IPW, our boy Justin Summers, and the man himself, Wesley Pipes, are going to be here on the show next week. Wesley, of course, is in the tournament for the IPW Heavyweight Championship, and his opponent in round 1 is the raw international goddamn draw, August Artois. That's going to be an amazing match. Next week is going to be spicy. You are not going to want to miss this. Promotions. If you're a promoter, if you are a wrestler, do you have a big event coming up and you want to get some heat on your matches? Do you want to promote your matches, promote your events? Come on the show. Get hold of us. You can come on, shoot some interviews, shoot an angle. We'll advertise for you. We'll get you some extra views.
Really pulling back the curtain there.
Oh, my God. And also, we can never judge people by their cover, especially wrestling fans. And I think this video we're going to show here now from the Mania event speaks volumes to that. Patrick, do you remember this guy that you interviewed?
Yes. He's a good guy. I think he actually is a follower of ours now. One of the few that we picked up on the weekend. It was a good time talking to him. Mania was not on our. I feel like we never really had much contact with the organizers of that really at all. It was kind of just a fluke that we got the tickets, and there wasn't anybody that I knew of that was on the show, and it was like wasn't the thing that was on the top of my list for the weekend, but it ended up being a really great show. I mean, the wrestling that's there was world caliber, better than the stuff that you see on WWE, and like every match on the card was really, really professional, really good, hard hitting, very, very, very great, a great show overall. Happy I went.
Yeah, me too. Absolutely, the action was awesome. The ring, or not the ring announcer, sorry, but the play-by-play
right,
people.
Yes. That was great too.
They were the owners of the promotion, and they were really, really nice.
Was it really?
Yeah. So we got to talk to them. Yeah, we got to talk to them for a little bit. That was really nice of them. But yeah, it was a great show overall. And yeah, we're going to leave you off this evening with this video from Mania, BWF Wrestling Podcast. We are the revolutionary force in podcast entertainment. Thank you, everybody. Have a good night.
That's awesome. This is a wild story of ups and downs.
It is.
He was taking his time to get to it. I really did not know if this guy's mom had died or not. I don't even remember editing this. This is really good. I did a great job.
You edited this at the WWE ID tournament.
Yes, that's right. That's why I don't have much of a memory of that particular one, but that was good.
That was good.
Yeah.
All right, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Cheers. Bye-bye.